Wheel inspection, repair, and recertification. Introduction. What you need to know: the who, what, when, where, and the big why. Who this is for. This presentation and training have been created for the owners and operators of off-the-road equipment. If you are a business or a business owner, an executive or manager in a business that runs heavy equipment, a staff member that has procurement responsibility for heavy equipment parts and servicing, a supervisor or maintenance person that services this equipment. This is also for commercial tire dealers that are having tire service personnel doing service work on their wheels and rims. This is for equipment dealers that need to support their customers with alternatives to simple wheel replacement. Bottom line, if you own it, manage it, and support off-the-road equipment, this presentation will be beneficial to you. What this is about. Off-the-road wheels used on equipment are an often overlooked and neglected maintenance item. They shouldn't be though, because wheels are the foundation piece necessary for mounting off-the-road tires to your machines. Off-the-road wheels that are in good serviceable condition are necessary to properly mount and support off-the-road tires and for holding the high air pressures that they contain. Wheels are the necessary mechanical connection that mates the tire to the drivetrain of the equipment and must be capable of handling heavy loads and extreme torque forces. Wheels, while they may appear to be simple and straightforward, are really far more complex than most people can imagine. There are many different wheel designs and profiles manufactured by various wheel manufacturing companies. The range of wheel designs and specialized applications is extensive. Knowing how to inspect wheels properly, what can be fixed, and how it can be fixed can get pretty complicated. Knowing which experts to consult and where to get work done by qualified servicers is key to getting it done right. This presentation is intended to raise your awareness of the subject, the issues involved, and will most likely to expose you to some new information that you've never heard before. It is intended to be educational and not a sales pitch for anyone's products in particular. Some product names will be mentioned, but only to inform you about the categories and products and various options available to you for keeping your wheels in good condition and safety items you may be unfamiliar with. When to perform. Wheel inspection should be performed on a routine basis, such as at tire change time or after a set number of hours of operation, or in the event of some sort of accident or impact that causes some sort of damage to the wheel, tire, or one of the wheel components. Repairs can and should be taking place whenever damage or defects are discovered by service personnel by sending the wheels to a qualified repair facility to have the appropriate repair actions taken. At the repair facility, thorough non-destructive testing can take place to verify the wheels are fully serviceable. There, the wheels can be recertified, repainted, and returned to service with the full confidence they can perform their function as expected. Where to perform. On site. Preliminary and basic wheel inspections should routinely be taking place in your local maintenance shop that does your service work or by tire service personnel out on the job site. Off-site. Detailed and thorough inspections should be done by qualified inspection, repair, and recertification providers. Thorough inspections can be done on-site as well if you have the qualified staff with the expertise and necessary equipment to do the work. Unless you are a very large company with adequate resources, this probably isn't practical because the expertise necessary to do detailed and thorough inspection of all the different kinds of wheels is a rare commodity. No one goes to school to learn wheels, and no one teaches it. The knowledge comes from years of experience doing service work and working with experts in manufacturing and know how the wheels are designed. Knowing who to work with and who is really qualified to do the work is a key factor in making sure your wheels are thoroughly inspected and properly maintained. The big why. Why should you care about wheel inspection? I covered some of that why in the slide on what this is about. You can't mount a tire on a machine without a wheel. You can't get a tire to hold air pressure without first securely mounting the tire on a wheel. Once the tire is properly mounted up and seated on the wheel, you can begin to inflate the tire and wheel assembly with air pressure. The air pressure is the essential key component. The air pressure is in fact what supports the tire and the load of the machine. Without proper air pressure, the tire will not assume its proper inflated shape and size to do the work it is intended to do. Without proper air pressure, the tire will not stay seated up properly on the wheel, and your machine will not operate properly, and the tire will also become unseated from the wheel and deflate as well. Not to mention, if you operate your tire in a low pressure condition for too long, it will damage the tire and it will fail prematurely and it will have to be replaced. And no one likes to replace expensive off-the-road tires before they've worn out their tread. I frequently explain that the tire, the wheel, and the air pressure all function as a team. All members of the team have to be in good serviceable condition and working together. If any one part of the team is not in good serviceable condition, you get a breakdown, and the unserviceable part of the team must be replaced or repaired. Off-the-road tires and wheels typically are inflated to very high air pressures rated in PSI. That PSI means every square inch of the air cavity inside the wheel and the tire feels the effect of this air pressure. The air pressure is what contains the potential energy which, when released in an uncontrolled manner, can cause severe damage or potential injury to anyone in or nearby the trajectory zone. It is the air pressure being released uncontrollably that turns pieces of the tire or the wheel itself into projectiles that can damage, maim, or even kill anyone or anything in the trajectory zone. It is the air pressure that contains the sufficient force to launch several hundred or even 1,000-pound wheel components several hundred feet. I don't exaggerate, and I have the pictures to prove it. We will delve further into these potential forces during the presentation and see real-world examples of accidents resulting from wheel incidents. Depending on if you buy to own versus lease your machines, there are operational costs associated with owning and running your machines. Typically, the number one and number two operating expense for your heavy equipment is going to be fuel or skilled labor that runs your machine. Number three is almost always tires. There are a number of factors that impact the service life of tires, air pressure maintenance being the factor most talked about. Tires need to be securely mounted on wheels that are in good serviceable condition to maintain proper air pressure and to properly support the tire sidewalls. Tires' performance and life expectancy are directly related to the wheels they are mounted on, so good serviceable wheels are essential. Every manager is no doubt concerned with squeezing every bit of service life out of the tires on their machines. In some businesses, every tire is carried on their books as an asset. Those assets must be accounted for and depreciated. They have an expected service life and are accounted for in the business budget. In those businesses, when a tire doesn't reach its expected service life, upper management wants answers to why not. If you're the manager or staff member that is responsible for tire service life, do you have the answers that they will accept? With regard to wheels, your average tire costs 3 to 4 times as much as the wheel does. Repairing wheels is far less costly than replacing them. Replacing wheels is 3 to 4 times more costly than repairing them. To give you some context, would you rather spend $200 to repair versus $600 to $800 or $1,000 to replace? Would you rather spend $1,000 to repair versus $4,000, $5,000, or $6,000 to replace a wheel? Some specialized wheels cost between $10,000 and $40,000 each to purchase brand new from the OEM parts departments. Multiply those costs by the number of wheels or potential wheel problems in your fleet, and the cash in and cash out begins to pile up very quickly. More food for thought for doing inspection and repair. If you've been neglecting wheel maintenance in your business and not doing any inspections, then you have raised your risk profile. You are operating with some major unknowns with regard to your machines, wheels, and tires. Here are some questions you should be able to answer for yourself. Do you know the age and condition of the wheels and component parts mounted on the wheels in your equipment fleet? Are the wheels in good serviceable condition? If you don't know, you have a blind spot. Blind spots can be costly when incidents occur. In the presentation, examples will be shown where wheel maintenance was neglected, resulting in some dramatic accidents. In some of these accidents, the personnel working with wheels and tires just didn't know the risks involved, and they paid with their lives. Here are some questions for you to answer about your business. Do you have legal or regulatory reasons for doing wheel inspections as it relates to your business? Depending upon where you live and the nature of your business, you may have just that. In today's highly regulated and litigious business environment, Have you done all that you can do to protect your employees and your business from safety hazards involving tires and wheels? Have you taken the necessary steps needed to protect your employees from themselves due to their own lack of knowledge? Do you have a blemish on your safety record directly related to equipment operations involving tires and wheels? Have you taken the necessary steps to make sure incidents won't occur in your future operations? Do you need help to get a process in place to address wheel safety issues? In the presentation, we will get into some real-world examples of what has already happened in various businesses. So please take the time to watch this presentation in its entirety so you can become aware of the subject at hand, the hazards involved, what can and can't be done, and how you can, should you decide to, take the necessary steps to get a wheel inspection program started at your company. Important note: if you find this presentation valuable and informative, and you want to learn more about wheel inspection, repair, and recertification, contact the person that sent you this video to get more information. If you are serious about getting started with wheel inspections to improve serviceability and safety at your company, set up a consultation to learn about how it will benefit your team, your division, and your department. One last thing before we get started with the presentation. The author of this presentation is Keith Harris. That's me in the picture. Let me offer you some credibility so that you can understand that I do know what I am talking about when it comes to this subject. I have worked for the same off-the-road wheel company for 21 plus years, where I specialize in earth-moving construction and heavy industry wheels. During those years, I've had the benefit of working with some of the best, smartest, and most qualified wheel manufacturing and wheel service people, as well as actual wheel design engineers. I routinely get to meet with customers that have wheel problems that they want resolved, and I get to constantly see a multitude of wheel damage and defects that affect the performance and safe operation of tires and wheels on heavy equipment. I am continually working with my peers in the industry to share new information which consistently broadens my knowledge of the field. It is constant and never-ending learning that is a part of the job and necessary to be successful in this field of work. So thanks for taking the time to watch this presentation. Sit back, relax, and I hope you learned something new and of value.